Hi, I'm Mr. Almeida. We're going to do a demonstration on footwear sketching. So I have illustrated the outline of a shoe, and I'm going to show you even just drawing a shoe from scratch as well. But the outline does help keep you confined to a certain area. So this is actually a Michael Jordan Nike shoe from back in the day. Now, what I do with the pencil, you can use pen as well, or charcoal, or what markers if you like. And essentially, guys, you're going to play with different parts of the anatomy. You're going to work on the upper, which is essentially the upper part of the shoe. Then you work with the midsole, which is essentially the foam in between the upper and the outsole, which is essentially the rubber on the bottom. Okay. Now there's different parts too, like the tongue. So I'm just going to start drawing, and if the video shows, and we're good here, yeah. I'm just going to start sketching, and you could have a hidden midsole if you wanted to, where the upper kind of wraps around the midsole. It's a new technique that manufacturers are doing these days for athletic footwear. But in this case, I'm just going to start drawing the midsole, and I'm just going to draw using line. Okay. So that would be the midsole. Playing with the outsole, I'll play with some rubber compound, maybe have a notch there so that it has flex in the material. All right. In this case, I'm going to throw an old school airbag. There's a bridge there. This is the rubber cap. And the foam could be plain. I might introduce some different line or shape to it. Okay. Might even bring a curve in for the back. Okay. So I got my midsole, and then over here in the upper, this is where you have fun and you play with different types of shapes and lines, and you might have a theme to your shoe. So this one I'm going to keep this organic, and I'm just going to keep it very flowy. Might get a line like that and just kind of repeat after it. Okay. And then I just might leave that open. Maybe bring one part a little different and cap the front there. So make this a little bit more thicker. And you can see the lines just kind of flow off each other. And now it still needs detail, right? So I might even say to myself, this would be a cool area for perforations for vapor to escape the shoe. So I'll start just creating a gridded pattern of just dots, and I'll just stagger them a bit. And I'll continue this pattern throughout this section of the shoe. And this is me being creative. So I'm not saying this is the way you're going to design your shoe. This is the way I'm designing it. So just having fun with it. And this is what sketch is so much fun, because at this moment of time, you're being creative, you've done your research, you may have seen something that inspired you, and you're just bringing those details. And then afterwards, you'll bring this into Illustrator and recreate this using different types of electronic tools to create pattern and repetition. I might even start doing a stitch mark here around this shape, so just putting little dashes. And then you'll ask yourself, do I need that to be a single stitch, double stitch, triple stitch? Okay. Now I might include some nice oval shapes here, so to indicate the shoelace mechanism for the shoes for tying. And then I might even draw like shoelaces coming around. And this is where maybe I'll bring the tongue into it. Okay. And maybe a little strap here for grabbing your index finger to bring the shoe in and out. Okay, and you can shade in different parts. This one I might just do an outline there. Okay, so I have a rough idea. This might be a different colored shape, so I might shade it. If you need to, just annotate it. Grab a little squiggly line saying, I want this to be red. And here, red. Okay. Shade this part here, red. So I have just one shoe already. I don't know if you like it or not. I think it's kind of slick. It's got this nice cool form. Maybe I'll even bring one line here and shade the foam, and maybe this shape in particular is highlighted. Now, one thing I'm not including here is my brand. And in some cases, you may not want to brand your shoe, but maybe I want to throw my logo in here. Okay. Say, for example, my logo is the Nike logo. It's just the simple check mark swoosh insignia. Okay? You might want to put it somewhere here, a small little check mark at the heel. And sometimes you're like, oh, maybe I want to be adventurous and I want to put the whole logo right in front of the shoe. Okay, so I'll just draw it in and put it over top. Now that Nike logo could be your logo you designed, right? And then it just really does change the shoe actually, right? Just start looking like a shoe that you would actually buy. Anyways, maybe a little insignia there. So that's a shoe that I've just drawn, freestyled, kind of thinking of the midsole, the outsole, and the upper, and the tongue, okay? I used an organic theme. Maybe I want to draw another shoe of the same template outline, and maybe do it more straight line, more straight edge. So, let's think here. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'm gonna keep this. Okay, and okay, let's go with a very straight line edge shoe. I'm gonna go Picasso on this. Right away, I start thinking about Adidas right as I draw this. And maybe these lines are going to make them more straight. Actually, you know what? Let's go with a pointed theme. A little flex groove for the rubber to bend a bit for the athlete. And I'll do a sharp edge here. Feels like it just wants to use Velcro straps going across this. And that could be a Velcro strap just going across the shoe. Okay. And then maybe a collar, a Velcro strap going around the collar. And I take this line element and kind of do the same thing I did before the Okay, so there's a shoe, okay, not my best design, but it's a different approach. And with ideation, you know what? Out of the 5 I do, one of them is going to be really sweet. I'm going to be very happy with. So if you want to, for full marks, start throwing the where you put stitch marks on there. And guys, design is also influenced by your ability to do research, right? So if you've seen something that's cool, maybe I'll do straight lines here. So I'm just putting straight lines going across. There you go. I don't know, not bad actually, but I've done better. And maybe I throw my logo in there. I call this Madidas. It's Adidas with an M. Okay, never mind. See the M right there? That's a cool logo. So yeah, you'll find creative ways to incorporate your brand. For those of you doing couture or dress shoes, you don't necessarily have to include your brand on the side, okay? In your presentation, you might say it's going to be on the shank of the heel or inside the heel in the cushion, okay? There's going to be a brand somewhere, but in some cases, it doesn't have to be on the side of the shoe. And here's a sketch from scratch of a blank sheet of paper. And as you get good with the proportions, then it comes naturally. So I'm just going to draw like a running shoe, like a track and field shoe. This is just free form. Okay. So I have the overall outline. And yeah. I'm going to have a hidden midsole where some of the upper goes into the midsole. Some tread for the runner, using a pattern. this would be like the tongue. Okay, and just like that, it starts coming into form. Okay, and maybe I'll create a little rhythm, little ovals here. This would be like a mesh material, so I'll just kind of use horizontal lines, vertical lines. And I'll do that same mesh pattern here as a flex material. Okay, in the same orientation. Now, be messy. If lines overlap, it's okay. It's okay. All right, and this would be the tongue. A little bit too, erase that part. Okay. So indicate the lace holes. Maybe put some lace holes right here. Okay, there's my other shoe design, and inside these little ovals I can add color, shade. I'll add some little stitch marks here indicating little dashes to indicate that it's being stitched. Okay, and there you go. There's my shoe. I use a nice big fat marker here. Not fat, but a marker here, just kind of indicating the overall outline to kind of vignette it. Okay. Helps indicate the overall shape. And you can maybe highlight certain distinct features of the shoe. There you go. Here's a shoes from scratch.